conversation the other day about talking about advertising.
Oh,
Everybody's just like, what?
What's the internet?
They're all set. Okay, we're all set.
Okay. Welcome to the Hamlin Conservation Advisory Board meeting. The exits are on either end of the building. There's a handicap on the right-hand side, and the AED is right across from the doorway. Cheryl, please call roll.
Rob Westcott.
Here.
Janine Clark. Steve Rutherford.
Here.
Carrie Whipple. Here.
Thank you. Everybody's had a chance to review the minutes. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none. Cheryl, will you please pull forward? Or can I have a motion to?
I'll make a motion that we approve the February 24th meeting minutes.
I'll second.
Okay, but it's been moved and second that we accept the minutes as put before us. Joe, would you please pull forward?
Rob Westcott.
Abstain?
Janine Clark.
Yes.
Steve Rutherford.
Yes,
Carrie Whipple.
Yes.
so carried. All right, we'll jump right into our reports. Janine, what do you have for us?
Hamlin Planning Board, Monday, March 3rd was a very long meeting. A lot of discussion going on. There were several public hearings. The first one was for Anthony Piano, 829 Moscow Road. He was seeking a special use permit to operate his business named ADP Lawn Mowing and Property Maintenance Incorporated from a barn on the property he owned. The public hearing was open, and there was one member present who spoke quite long about his concerns about such a good-sized business in an RVL, which is residential variable district. There is an indication that this is a multi-residential use, but the board needs to take a very hard look at the number of vehicles to be on the property. There might be zero-turn lawnmowers, chippers stored on the property, as well as the materials that they would be using in their business, where they can store it, and it would need to be hidden from view with fence, and there's just a lot of discussion. And the engineer added that the documents that have been submitted do not make a sufficient site plan. So this was also discussed as to whether that needs to happen. So a motion was made to table this application for 1 month. We want the fire marshal to inspect and file the report, and an interior with a site plan designed by a professional will be required. It is an unlisted action under seeker. That's as far as they look out, as far as designated. The second public hearing was for Plaza. He's proposing to rent the storefronts to operate a tobacco, smoke, and bake shop. The business will be used solely for the purpose of tobacco sales and other products related to the same. And that stated that no one under 21 will be allowed into the store. Someone commented that Tops Market does not sell cigarettes. It is a type 2 action, and the motion was made and seconded and approved to approve the application for the smoke shop. The third public hearing was at the same, basically the same location, for John Savage Lifesaver Appliance at 1800 Lake Road in Tops Plaza. John Savage is proposing, to operate a business for the retail sale of appliances. Used to find. It is a type 2 action, so there's no environmental issues. There were some questions that we had about where a dumpster would be located, and sure it would be in the back, it would not be in the front. There's no issues with parking or any of those things with either of those businesses because it's a company established parking lot. So the motion was made and approved to approve that. And the next public hearing, there was a public hearing continuation from Thomas Meadow and Hidden Pines, section 3, it's an updated site plan. It would be, the access would be up Lake Road. Just not too far from
The intersection.
the town line road, yeah. Prior to this meeting about whether the EC mapping was accurate, and it is. The entire area. Cheryl Town Engineer reviewed the plan. They're proposing 5 large lots. The owner and the son have built 2 homes on the site. The sanitary sewer is in. There will be 1 acre of land per house, and the rest will be woods. There will be a bridge across the area. They addressed at that time. There are federal wetlands on some of the lots, but the plan shows that the grading will not affect any of those wetlands. And this is an unlisted action procedure. So, motion is made, seconded, and approved. Application, seeking the amended site plan approval for Hidden Pines section 3. And the next thing on the agenda was a commercial site plan application for David Frieda. He's going into the Lutz Corners building at the corner of 328 Lake Road, East Road, property that's owned by Master Donatos. He's planning on reopening the Lutz Corners Grill House Rock Bar and Grill.
Okay.
This David Frieda has been in the food service for 32 years. He doesn't live in Nealman, but he cost of living. Things that need to be on the site plan are the lighting, the ingress and egress, the number of employees, things like drainage, what capacity is for this fire marshal, handicap parking designated, and if in the past they've used parking across the street, so that needs to show up on the site plan. But they did schedule him for a public hearing for April 7th, so we'll see whether he's able to get all that information together before April 7th. There was another item on the agenda, but there was a no-show, so I guess that will be. And there was no discussion, it was late, and people were
Sounds like
Okay, for the Fish Advisory Board meeting, one of our former members passed away, Frank Stanza, who was former chairman. Passed away a week ago Monday. His funeral was, last Tuesday, or last, Thursday. Other than that, a lot of things are in a tailspin now with, Elon Musk going through the federal departments and cutting out things. We're looking at different things and how they're going to affect us. The first thing is we contacted the USGS who runs the CAHO research boat, and right now the only thing they can tell us is they've lost 4 members. And we don't know what's happening to the federal hatcheries with our Atlantic salmon and our lake trout right now. As well as our other projects with the Cisco and the bloaters, which are forage fish. We also don't know about money being allocated for our lamprey control projects or program right now. Most of that is up in the air, and as soon as I find out the man that runs the CAHO, I've got to call in to him, and he should be calling me back within the next couple of days to see if he can provide me with any more details on what's going to happen. Our contract with the marketing people has gone forth, and they are looking to try to expand our marketing reach. What specific area or how, they're trying to do something on Google to ramp up our names. I don't know how any of that's done, but.
We had a similar conversation the other day.
What's that?
We had a similar conversation the other day with the town board.
Yeah. So,
So they'll just pay for Google ranking.
what's that?
They basically just pay to play. So the more money you pay, the more money that, you know, then they just bump you up in the rankings.
Okay. Yeah. So, well, I don't think our $4,000 is gonna go very far.
Right.
How much are we allocated for beer? $4,000. That's it. That's my whole budget. I also we don't know how, Stacy wasn't online the other day, Stacy Fargo, who's our, yeah,
Here, see, right?
yeah, that,
I
the
got you.
secret. And I don't think anything's gonna happen to the grants she's already got, but the future grants, what she is trying to get, such as the signage for all the different places people put in to, help them identify, the Atlantic salmon. So, we're hoping that's still a go. I got a chance to talk to the new owner of the Sandy Creek Marina at the end of 19. And, he's gonna try to open this summer, which is a good thing. So, plans on having, slip sand fuel, so. And since Tommy doesn't have water for my boat to go in, I'm getting it put in there for this year, going back home. So, that's that for the, Fish Advisory Board. Like I said, brother, I wish I'd had more of your cards when I'm down in Suffering.
Did you?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I probably handed out over, pretty close to 2,000 Monroe County brochures. And each one of them has the Fish Advisory Board webpage and your guys's,
The listing of.
yeah, of everything. So if I had a highlighter, I'd highlight it or I'd underline it. Because if there's not a captain on here I don't trust. If I didn't trust it, then they're not on this sheet. So, a lot of guys were receptive to the fact that they don't have to fish in Pulaski in the fall, just the fall. You can catch salmon all year
It's
long.
tough to be advertising down there.
Yeah,
That's why everybody goes to Oswego.
yeah. So I didn't hand out much of their stuff. No. Otherwise, yeah, that's that for that. Now, for the EMC meeting, we had a very interesting speaker from the town of Brighton, and she did not write her name down. And I'm hoping that she will send me the slides as promised. But what she did her message on was stormwater management. And their stormwater management was done in 3 ways. First was rain barrels, second was rain gardens, and the third was stream buffers. And what they did, they had a very good contractor that worked for them, that bought all their plants and brought in his little mini digger and helped people dig up areas so that they could put in rain gardens. Now, rain garden is a garden that comes directly off from your roof if you have gutters, and the water from that waters rain garden. So it's coming right off the gutter down into this patch of land where you put in all these different types of plants. The stream buffer, of course, is a lot of people mow their lawns right up to the edge of the stream. They got them to back up 10, 15 feet and put in native species along the stream bank so the water had a time, or the lawn had a chance to filtrate out any of the chemicals that were going down into the stream. Now, from what I can see, the stream is dry most of the time, but it actually starts up and back of the site center, winds around down through Brighton, and goes down along Edgewood. And the rain barrel thing, they got a a grant from the, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, it's called the 5-Star Program, 5-Star Award Program, still active, believe it or not, and they got a grant from them and it paid for all of the downspouts. It paid for the little gadgets on the end of the downspout to run the water out into the lawn or into the rain gardens. And it also paid for all the material that goes into making a rain barrel, the spouts and stuff. And Genesee Brewery donated all the barrels. They took their fruit syrup barrels, washed them out, and they gave them to them. So, they said it was successful in that they did a put out a notice in the paper, and they had a workshop where the people could come that were interested, and they went through the workshop and stuff. They put their rain barrels together. They were able to take them home and install them themselves, and had a nice little sign that the town made for everybody. But they had 20 people, and they said it was fairly successful, and that after 3 years, about 60% of the people were still using them. So, and I don't know if the rest were from attrition of people moving and others not taking care of it, or.
Was it only people like that lived on that creek, or was it people throughout?
Well,
Right.
they said high density areas, and so people with rain gardens were people that were in a residential area where they were close together, where there's not much lawn where the rainwater would be lost out into a non-pervious area. So, most everybody has a little space around their house somewhere where they set up, at the corner of the house that isn't totally filled with non-pervious land use. So, it sounded like a great idea. It's something that's very doable. If we would like to do something like that, I would definitely look into seeing if the grant was still available. And if it wasn't available, instead of buying trees this year, we could use it for putting these rain barrels together. But yeah, it's a fairly interesting idea.
Do you think she would be interested or willing to do a presentation here?
Oh yeah,
Just to, to see, because you said it's like a slideshow, so there's
Yeah.
pictures and.
well, she's supposed to send me her slide, so. But yeah.
Sounds really interesting.
Yeah, it is. And, I don't know who you came up with for plants and things like that, but, you know, even if we just provided rain barrels for people, you know, that'd be a wonderful thing. But and that was about it. We have 2 more meetings, and then we'll be done for the summer. But that's it. So, Mr. Westcott, you're up.
It's been a minute since I've been here, but, so I'll update you guys on the last, town board meeting, which was March 10th. There was, there was some discussion for quite a while about, doing a law proposing, to help, local firefighters and ambulance workers with some help them with local taxes, and that was actually decided on, and they approved it. So
Good.
I don't know exactly what the actual numbers work out to be, but there is a little bit of tax relief for volunteers in both the fire department and ambulance, which is nice. And then I do have confirmation that they did start, they approved for advertising for our event. So they're accepting applications, I believe. It does say until the 4th. I don't know if that's true.
For what now?
For our
For a fifth board
for
member.
our 5th board member.
Oh, okay.
So that's in play. So and that's what I got.
Woo-hoo. Thanks. How was your trip?
It was good.
Good.
So,
Let's you made it back.
yeah.
I don't want you rounded up with
What's that?
don't want you rounded up with the villains.
Well, I
there.
went to, January I was in Mexico, and last month I was in Arizona. My daughter lives in Arizona.
Yeah.
We haven't seen her since summertime, so it was nice to go out there and spend a week with her.
Right. Okay, next. Gary, zoning board.
So the March 17th, zoning board, there was a public hearing continuation for Eric Basil at 3022 Brick Schoolhouse Road. They were seeking several variances from, let's see, they had originally applied to have a nonprofit therapy business for their horse farm. It looks like that one was with that particular variance application. Is that correct?
The only the few.
The therapy business?
Yes,
Okay.
we asked them not to come back.
Gotcha, okay. So one person spoke in support of the project, and it was approved unanimously. There was another, on the agenda, there was a coastal erosion hazard area permit for Kevin Trout at 7032 Benedict Beach Road. And that was to add a patio cover to the front waterside portion of the existing dwelling. And that was also approved. There was an agenda item for a coastal erosion hazard area application for the Rockport Yacht Club. There were some yacht club members there to represent the project. And there was one person that spoke on concerns of like the cleanliness of the dredging. But ultimately, I think everyone agreed that it was still beneficial and that was approved. There was a coastal erosion hazard area application for fill pits at 17 Summer Haven Drive. He's seeking the rear setback to place a generator in the rear yard, 5 feet from the dwelling. And then there was a area variance for Michael Bassett of, 697 Weiler Road, who wanted to add a 2,800 square foot pole barn in their rear yard. Under, discussion, there was a little bit of discussion about the zoning workshop, and then, Cheryl, was I understanding this correctly that you discussed, conservation board inspection, so, no longer doing the CHOT?
For generators.
Oh, for generators specifically, that's what I missed in the
Yeah,
beginning.
request of the board.
Yeah, we'll approve that on the next meeting.
Okay, yep, so that was, covered under the discussion, so, I missed the generators piece, I was like, are we not doing CHA inspections at all? Okay, okay, great, and then that was the meeting, and that's it.
All right, thank you. Everybody is good for meetings for next month? All right. Dean, do you have anything from?
We had our first regular meeting. We actually had it here at the town hall because the Friends group is getting so large that we don't get in the boardroom out of the park, so we met here in this room. We really won. Slightly ahead of schedule, but area one is closed while that's going on. Possible completion date is March of 2026. Shelters 1 and 2 will be open this season, but they can't be rented. The Andy Marsh project was held up until they could get all their necessary permits, which they now have. That's anticipated to start in the fall, which is probably good since the area 1 project is are going to assist with the planting of tree seedlings in the park. On Saturday, April 26th, they purchased some trees from County Soil Flower just as we did, and then went to donate the trees, so that's going to go on now. That's going to come on. I live in Parkway, just single day volunteer event in New York State, which is May 3rd this year. If you planning on volunteering to help out, getting the park ready for summer. Would you register in advance if possible? Registration will begin in early April, and I have the website here, and I'll give that information to Cheryl. That's PTNY, which stands for Parks and Trails New York. PTNY.org/I love my park. So, for folks who want to volunteer. In years past, we've always had close to 100 volunteers. Spring cleanup back in on those days, so it's a great event. And then people can also volunteer at other parks if they would.
Each to go. Okay, anybody go to the zoning workshop?
We were talking about it.
Yeah. We discussed that.
Yeah, really, other than the generators, talk about parking issues, camper issues, equipment issues in people's yards. There's a few houses that have, how many was there, 10, 12 trucks? Yeah.
We're gonna be looking at reworking code
Yeah.
in the areas for now.
So we're gonna go through the code book, and that'll probably take quite some time. We're gonna look to see if we can get a grant to do it. So.
2007, I think.
Yeah.
Do the code. Cheryl, since the new information or new regulations were in effect from the DEC regarding wetlands, that, there's some things in that code that need to change a little bit.
Carmen just finished doing theirs. We'll see what happens. Rewording become more today used to be old. So easier to understand instead of some of the language that's in there.
Alrighty.
I can make a motion to adjourn this part of the meeting if you don't mind.
I'm okay.
One second.
So the second, we adjourn this portion of the meeting, and we'll open up the Hamlin Waterfront Committee with the same people present. We have new referrals.
I'm aware of it.
Isn't it just been quiet?
What we had is we had a lot of generators on the list.
Is that really what?
Yeah, so that's why we don't have them. There are a few, a couple houses that are looking to have additions to them, so that we can, double our, apartments, so that's what we're
All right, our free tree giveaway, will be on the 26th here, 9 o'clock till 11, or until they're gone. Appreciate any help we can get. I will pick them up on the day before. And, they were then bought and paid for. Woo-hoo.
And that will be on the sign out front for the whole week previous, and the
Okay.
ad is going into the paper this week.
And I have buckets to bring to put the trees in, and I have plastic bags to put them in.
Okay,
Last
great.
year, I think we were doing something with the fishing.
Possibly.
So you weren't able to.
I just put it in my phone, so.
Yeah, there was the fish, in Sandy Creek.
There might have been some overlap there, judging by the
I remember.
right. I think it's, usually it's pretty close to Earth Day, which is my birthday. There's a tree giveaway, right, which is the 22nd, give or take.
So this is a Saturday.
Yeah, you might be right about that. That might have been where-
Yeah, no, there was a conflict. So we
Either
did-
raising fish or harassing fish, one of the two.
Yeah. Did, you get enough people to help with the pens up?
Yep. So we have that going on. The Sandy Creek Pen Ring project, the pens, and we've got everything ready to receive fish Wednesday. Okay. Sandy Creek gets annual stocking of 17,000 steelhead, and we host 15,000 of them. So I'm hoping next year we'll just get more.
Yeah.
So we need to build one more pen. I'm working on that, getting that done through the system. DEC has money. It was awarded through one of the
I think
many
I,
lawsuits that they've
I
experienced.
think I still have the pen. 'Cause I didn't throw any of that stuff away. I still have the diagrams to build.
I got it, yeah.
Okay.
So that's the plan moving forward, but the funds are at the Brockport Yacht Club.
It's
Right,
going to be
right next
automatic feeding.
Yeah, yeah, automatic feeders there. So, but we get fish 11 o'clock on Wednesday.
Okay, so what was the conflict last year? So it sounds like this is happening.
A little bit earlier, so we've always tried to push them to do earlier.
Yeah.
Does it
Because,
depend on the temperature of the water?
Yeah, for them, it depends on the size of the fish that they have, so they wanna see them at a certain size. But they deal with extremely cold water because that's coming out of the Salmon River hatchery. So their water source is the Salmon River Reservoir, which is extremely cold. So, we have this constant battle of getting fish at appropriate sizes, but we deal with extremely high temperatures typically in the creek. So, they've been really good lately, past couple of years, about getting us fish extremely early. So we're getting fish a week before anybody else to try to combat that. So we really want to try to hold them with a max
Right.
Which is 3 weeks or as long as we possibly can. So.
I remember those days.
So, yeah, so that's all good, that's good.
Alrighty, anyone have anything else? Gonna have a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Then move,
Second.
move second to we adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So carried. Thank you. We'll see you all on the 28th.
26.